So, today we're doing this in my place.
Yes, we are.
It's different.
It is different.
We could talk about how weird the carpet feels, but
I like the carpet. It's clean. That's what's making me uncomfortable.
haven't been here long enough.
I don't think you live here, to be honest.
Why?
I think you broke into a house and you're like, "We'll just tell them I live here and it's gonna be okay." That's cool. The real owners will come home eventually. It's fine.
Well, it's time for the enthusiast.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
What is up, everybody? I am one of your hosts, Will Zabo. Alongside me, the man that I feel like has more DC comic shirts than anyone in the world.
This is true. I do
Jesse
have a lot.
Nazario.
And some Nintendo ones too.
How you been this week?
It was a good week. I went on vacation. I'm still on vacation. That's why we're recording today instead of a weekend.
Yes.
And me and my wife went to Philadelphia. You ever been there?
I have.
There's stuff in Philly.
There is. How was it?
It was great. Even the bad experience was great. We went to like a Ruby Tuesday the first night because nothing was open, and this place looked condemned. But the food was amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, but there's also like one armed guy in the kitchen. Like this.
Isn't that where you guys had your first date? Or, no,
Yeah.
TGI Fridays.
TGI Fridays, greatest restaurant on earth. It's a different story.
Sorry.
Then we went to the museums. Anytime I always laugh at the art museums because there's always people that like stare at the art like they know what they're doing. It's like you don't understand it. And it's okay. That's the whole point of art. But then the surprise of all surprises came after we left the art museum. I walked out and the wrestler Kofi Kingston was sitting on the steps.
I saw your post on
I
that.
know, of the art museum, just chilling with like his family, and he was changing a diaper. So I didn't want to go full stalkerish on him, but it's not like I was going to leave him alone either. So I stared at him for a real long while. And I turned to my wife, I'm like, that's definitely him, because I noticed his tattoo. So when he finally started getting up and walking with his family, I was like, Kofi Kingston? And he's like, yeah. And we just stared at each other, which was probably like 10 seconds, but it felt like a minute of just awkward staring at each other. Like he was waiting for me to say, you want a picture, an autograph, what do you want? I was just like, hey, this is awesome. And he's like, yeah. And then he looked at me, and he looked over at my wife, who had this smile on her face from ear to ear. I was like, oh, I like your shirt. And then kept walking. I was like, that's good enough for me. Didn't need a picture, don't need an autograph.
You froze up.
I froze up. So weird.
So, anything else going on this week?
Playing some Halo. And Halo.
Okay.
I finished Halo 2 this morning.
Okay, how's that been going?
It was good. I was intoxicated.
Now, is it as good as you remember, or has it been like one of those trips where? And lately we've been talking about this, where sometimes we've been visiting older games, and it's like, man, that probably should have stayed in the past.
Yeah, it's one of those. Like, I forgot how much I hated playing as the Arbiter. I was like, ugh, no, not fun.
Yeah.
It's just like the first game set you up with, like, you were a Spartan. This is why you can do all the cool things you can do. And then the second game just completely rewrites that and is like, well, there's another guy that can do all that cool stuff too. And he's on the opposite side.
Yeah.
It's like, it just kind of ruined the experience.
I can
The
understand.
Arbiter wasn't that cool to me.
Nah, I think
And
it's
his
the same.
face looked creepy.
The same problem you run into in 5 eventually.
Well, thanks for ruining that. I haven't got there yet.
It's in the commercials.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't watch commercials.
I'm sorry.
I don't. So, yeah. Reviews came out for Wonder Woman.
I was gonna get to that at some point, but okay, I guess we'll go
Let's
to it now.
just skip over to it, man.
What do you
I
think?
didn't see on the notes for the week.
No, you're right. That was actually there's 2 movie reviews I wanted to talk about that I just kind of threw in, which Wonder Woman, because that came out basically today. The Wonder Woman reviews.
Yes, they popped up this morning on
And
my
the
timeline.
Pirates of the Caribbean was the other review.
You're a Pirates of the Caribbean.
So what do you think?
The Wonder Woman reviews I've seen are pretty positive. Last time I checked, it's got a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's actually looking like it's one of the better DC movies better received, I should say, because I don't
Yes.
want to say better. Because you and I really like what DC's been doing. I just feel like the majority of people seem to not.
Fans.
Yeah.
Apparently, or just review-wise. From what I heard, it's a really good... It's the one thing I keep hearing over and over in all the reviews is it's so far in the past, it's detached from the other films, so it has a lot more liberties, and that's why people enjoyed it, much they did.
Yeah.
So
The only complaint I've been seeing is that the same thing that Marvel has with its movies, the villain at the very end. I heard like it just doesn't it doesn't do a very good job of it. So I guess I do want to see that.
I know June 2nd. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wear my outfit.
Wonder Woman outfit.
Yeah, of course.
Now, which one are you doing? The pants, or are you doing like the
Skirt?
Okay.
Straight skirt.
Not gonna do the undies looking thing or the bathing suit one.
No. I just want to do the skirt, and then I'm gonna combine and wear the leather jacket too.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Kind of looking like Superboy.
One reviewer, Jeremy Johns, he said he said that although it was a Wonder Woman movie, it didn't throw in your face the entire time. Like, she's a powerful woman. Women are great. Like, you know what I mean? It just so happened to be an awesome soldier and woman that was, a woman.
And that was one of the things I was reading about in some of my reviews was a lot of them were saying, like, this movie from the get-go has a lot of hurdles to jump because the main character is a woman. And from my understanding, it seems like they've done a really good job of treating her like a good character, not just tacking things on because she's a woman and trying to appeal to women. Yeah. Let's get into pirates.
You're a pirate.
The opposite.
Yeah.
Reviews haven't been that great.
No. They were better than Stranger Tides.
Yeah, they were. I agree with that.
I mean, a lot of things are better than Stranger Tides.
But apparently, it's still not. It just hasn't been as good since the trilogy.
I realized something and why I stopped liking those movies much, and I still enjoy them. I'm not like a hipster and say I hate the pirate movies. The quality's kind of dropped off. And I realized in Stranger Tides, my biggest issue with it, and apparently it's in this too, is they focus on Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp's character, where I liked him always being the side character. That's what made him clever and fun, you know what I mean?
I agree too. I think that was what I liked about the trilogy so much, is that he was there, but he just wasn't as big.
People forget that technically Keira Knightley and
Orlando
Bloom were the main characters of the trilogy. And that's what made, Jack Sparrow so great. He would just pop out of nowhere and you never knew where his lines was.
Yeah.
What side he was on.
I agree. It's a little disappointing, though, to see that, because I really like the Pirate series.
Well, apparently this is the last one.
Really? I thought they were going to do 6.
I don't know. This is rumors that this is the last one.
Okay.
Probably going to make $1 bajillion.
Probably. Just because it's Johnny Depp.
And pirates.
Yeah.
I'm going to go see it. Whether the reviews matter or anything.
I do want to see it myself, too, because reviews have been wrong for me before, where there are movies like Batman v Superman that I really enjoyed, but
Suicide Squad.
Critics just didn't.
Plus, I've seen all the rest of them in theaters. I feel like I got to finish the chain up.
Yeah.
Talking about on the side note, so our whole plan was to see Pirates this weekend while we're out there, or Baywatch. We were going to walk to a theater, and then whatever, we found, whatever's playing first, we were going to see. I was hoping for Pirates, he was hoping for Baywatch, because it's The Rock. I don't know why. So anyway, we walk all the way to this theater in Philadelphia, and it's like this hipster theater that plays nothing but foreign films.
Really?
Yes. And the guy, I'm like, where are the regular movies? And he's like, oh, that's the other cinema. Okay, it's about 2 miles up the road. I was like, I'm not walking another 2 miles, but it's like real snooty and same thing. People in there acting like they know what they're saying. You don't know. It's just boring. Okay, like I'm here for a good film every once in a while, but I'm not gonna pay money to go see a foreign film in theaters and walk out like I have no idea what just happened. I'd rather do that at the comfort of my own living room.
I agree with that.
Stupid hipster theater. I was so mad. We walked so long for that.
I'm sorry.
I'm not a small guy, man.
No.
It was a long walk. My legs are still hurting.
You must have been really sad.
That was really, really sad. I wanted to see some sword fighting in Pirates.
What else is really sad is Zack Snyder isn't going to be directing the rest of Justice League.
Is it sad, though?
That's where I'm kind of sitting as well. I didn't want to be the guy who says it, but if you want to be that guy...
I'd say, it's a shame what happened to him.
I agree. Apparently, I believe his daughter committed suicide?
Correct.
Yeah.
Very sad, and it's horrible that it happened. And like I said, get well. You were a champ for staying on for another month after that, too, and working. Like, good for you. Kudos to you for doing that.
Yeah.
But
you know what I'm curious about? I wonder if he would have kept directing it, if it would have been a better movie. And here's my only reason why. The original trilogy for Star Wars was so good because George Lucas was going through a divorce at the time. And I think, I think you can even attest to this. When usually you're going through something and put your soul into art of some form, it usually comes out better. So, but I don't know. Like maybe
I don't know. I'm gonna say the opposite because one of the things that made the original Star Wars trilogy so good is George Lucas only directed the first Star Wars movie. The other two were directed by other gentlemen, and they took his idea and they turned it into their own, and that's what makes something really good sometimes. So that's what I'm hoping we'll get with Justice League. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Joss Whedon coming in.
now. I mean, Josh Whedon obviously isn't going to redirect the whole movie.
No,
He's
well.
probably only going to do some final cuts,
Editing.
which can really make or break a movie in
Yes.
itself.
And the reshoots, obviously, he's going to be doing so. I think it's a good thing. I think he knows how to handle characters well. He obviously showed it before that he can, so.
With Avengers.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Now, do you think?
Disney said, like, we lost him.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Do you think that now Josh Whedon though is going to direct DC movies after this, or do you think this is a one and done type thing? Like
Well, no,
maybe-
he's still scheduled to do Batgirl.
That's true. Okay.
So, I think that any director will say this. They don't want to stay stale or stagnant. So, going from one universe to the next like that, I think this is probably going to rejuvenate him in some sort. So, I think, yeah, we'll definitely get more DC movies out of him.
Okay.
So, I'm excited.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like... I like Zack Snyder. I think he did a great job with what he was given for Batman v Superman to set this universe up. But it's not like we got a terrible replacement.
No.
No, like UB Bowl came out of nowhere. Like, so, like, that's her replacement. No, like,
Yeah.
I think it can only help, if anything. And plus, majority, the film is done. It's now you're into the editing and everything like that. So it's taking one man's vision, and I'm sure Josh Whedon's going to want to try to keep true to what he was shooting for and just touch it up here and there.
Yeah.
And hopefully he's a little tough, and, like, if Warner Brothers tries to step in, oh, this is my rodeo, buddy.
Hopefully.
My rodeo. You ever ride a horse before?
Never.
Neither have I.
I will never ride a horse.
Why would I? That doesn't look fun.
They're dangerous on both ends and crafty in the middle.
No. I never wanted to ride a horse because I don't think I could get on top of one.
Why?
Just don't think I had
You don't physically think
I
you could
physically get up there.
get up there?
And I think it's going to be the most awkward, 20 minutes while somebody's, trying to push me up there. I'm like, no, just want to avoid
Or
that
you're
at
gonna get
all
up
costs.
backwards. Your head's gonna be facing his ass, like in those cartoons.
Yeah, exactly. Or I might just go all the
All
way
the way over.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Or the saddle's gonna turn and it'll be upside down.
Just stuck, was it Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Yeah,
It's a good movie.
great movie. Let's move on to some game news. We actually have quite a bit
Your
for
game
game
news.
news. Square Enix says that Final Fantasy VII, the remake, and Kingdom Hearts 3 are not to be expected for at least another 3 years or longer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
They pissed on my Cheerios. And I like my Cheerios, so I'm pissing them. It's kind of disappointing because it's not like it was like they just announced it and then it got pushed back. Okay, I can deal with that. It's like you've announced these since 86 by this point. I was in school still when they announced Kingdom Hearts 3. I've been out of school for a really long time.
Yeah.
Like a stupid amount of time. It's going to be 20 years by the end of...
Yeah. I wonder if that's what they're aiming for.
That's exactly what it's got to be, because I definitely been out of school for almost 15 years, and they announced Kingdom Hearts then, so it's like, it's going to be 20 years.
And they announced Final Fantasy VII, the remake's going to be one episodic. But they said each episode's going to be the length of a full game. I don't really quite know what that means. Because depending on what your
6 hours.
6 to 60 maybe?
I
would
hope
assume.
that's 60. I'll be playing that game for the rest of my life. Here's my question, though. Are they going to release it on the PS4 now? Because who knows what's going to be out in 3 years.
Oh, you mean is it possibly going to be a PS5 exclusive?
Yeah.
Now, see, I was thinking the same thing, because if the PS5 does come out within the next 3 years, this could be a really good launch lineup.
Yeah.
Could you imagine seeing a PS5 launch with
I would
Kingdom
see
Hearts and
things fly off the shelf in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I literally would get it no matter what.
Yeah. I think you can see riots, people losing hands, GameStop just getting cleaned out,
Stock
you know what I
market
mean?
crashing.
Yep. Somebody on fire for no reason, you know what I mean?
Lit himself on fire.
Yes.
Trying to protest all that goodness.
Brick from Anchorman with just a random grenade. It's just, I see all that happening. It's...
That'd be great.
3 years is a very long time, if more, and to me now you're... I feel like now you're teasing us. You're being the bully in school.
Well, this week we also got more news on Final Fantasy VII, where Square Enix said that they're only going to do it internally. They're not going to source it out to another party like Platinum Games did Nier and stuff like that. They're not going to do that with Final Fantasy. which I kind of personally already expected, but I'm just kind of getting. It's one of those things where I'd much rather them just go silent about it now at this point. Like I don't want to even hear about Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts until
They're out in your hand.
they're going to be out.
Yeah. I don't, even when that game comes out, and by this point it'll probably be digital because hard copies will be gone or whatever. Even if I somehow get this game in my hand, I won't believe it. When I finish the game, I still won't believe it.
Well, that's how I was with 15.
You know what I mean?
It took me 10 years to get to play 15.
I don't know if this is gonna happen. To be honest.
All right.
And I was talking to a mutual friend of ours, Tiger and Brian, and they both said this is like, it feels like a step towards cancellation. You know what I mean?
I don't see them canceling it because Final Fantasy VII 1 is huge for Square, and so is Kingdom Hearts.
Your Kingdom Hearts.
I would say, if anything, those games are definitely going to come out.
I hope so. I hope I haven't been waiting forever for nothing.
No, I don't see them getting canceled at all.
But no, I agree with you. They should go silent. Don't play anything. Make me forget.
That's what I think would be pleasant. You kind of just forget about it, becomes background noise, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey,
Oh, hey.
it's coming out in like 3 months.
Whoa, what? I get my little, I don't know, do I have any Final Fantasy shirts? No, I have a Metal Gear one, though. It shrunk in the washer, though. I put it on yesterday, and I was like, nope.
Well, let's move on to...
Another delay?
Yeah, another delay.
Delays happen in life every day, man.
Red Dead.
This is pretty much an airport right now. Delay. I'm actually excited that Red Dead got delayed.
I'm actually pretty happy, too. There's so many games coming out anyway.
That was the reason
I really don't mind Red Dead being pushed back, because Red Dead was one of those games that when I heard, I was like, damn, now I really got to put time aside for Red Dead. Now it's kind of like, all right, you know what, Red Dead, you're going further back, so other things can...
I feel like this delay can't hurt it. It's still going to sell. It's still going to do well. You know what I mean? As long as they don't Square Enix it. It's not funny. It hurts, actually. But as long as they don't do that, I think it's going to be absolutely fine.
Yeah, we didn't get a window. They only said 2018 now. So it could be holiday 2018.
Could be early 2018.
I'm thinking more along the early. And if they're going to be delayed, if it is still coming, I'm going to think more along the lines of like March to May.
That's good. I can play it in March.
And then we thought Far Cry 5 was going to be coming out in the holiday. We thought those were going to be the two big westerns combating it.
Yeah.
And Far Cry 5 is going to be February, so that's still pretty close.
Yeah.
That they could be hurting one another's sales. And at first, we all kind of agreed that Red Dead was really going to take it. But we got our first look at Far Cry.
Yeah. I watched the trailer, and what did I do? I immediately texted you and was like, I really like that trailer. It's a really good trailer.
Yeah, it's so good. So some things that we know is you can completely customize your character.
Yes.
Now, I'm curious if that means I get to create a character, or if it's more I get gear and, outfits and stuff like
Different
that.
bandanas, hats, glasses.
Yeah. We do know you can play as a male or female.
That is something that's different. I'm sure you're going to pick a female.
Maybe.
Weirdo.
We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. If I get to completely create my character, I have to look through the options first.
Fair enough.
Some things will be returning, like hunting. But then we're also getting some new things, like fishing.
Yeah.
I could fish all day.
Fishing is fun. In real life, too. Just try it every once in a while.
I like fishing.
All right.
I've gone fishing before.
Have you, really?
Are you saying I don't go outside?
I figured with your pale skin. No. I figured you just sparkle when you go outside.
Pale. I'm like...
You look like Edward from Twilight.
No, I'm olive.
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Okay. Well, anyway.
I want to get into the story. I think it just looks incredible. I love that story aspect. Like, it's such a taboo subject.
Yeah. A religious cult.
Exactly.
And I thought it was crazy because, like, they're going into people's homes and pulling them out to baptize them or murder them for not being a part of their religion.
It's like West Baptist Church, the game.
Someone actually already sent out a petition to try to get them to stop this game.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
The petition was talking about how this is an insult to Far Cry fans, and that it's just a really bad subject to touch on.
But I think,
and I like it, though.
I think that's a brave thing, you know what I mean? And we talked about when we thought this was originally Western, we needed them to do something controversial to make their game stand out. And you want to talk about controversial, this is controversial.
I agree.
And I'm excited about it. I think it's an interesting storyline. What I like about it is, one thing we both agreed in, the villain of 3 was probably their best villain, and I'm hoping that this villain will be on that same level kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree. Especially...
Because villains make a game, man.
They really
do make a game.
And the bad guy in 4 wasn't really a bad guy.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, you can technically finish the game without even killing him. Just waiting.
Yeah.
Waiting for him to come back, and he eventually does. So, I'm just saying, like, it does, though. Do you remember playing Street Fighter 2 and fighting M. Bison? Like, that's a villain. You know what I mean? You need something like that.
So, apparently you're also going to be able to hire gunmen. So, I'm going to assume this is obviously going to be another open world game. But I wonder if they're going to be, the gunmen are going to be like side missions, or if it's going to be similar to like FarCry 4, where you can kind of call in your crew to help you out in really tough situations.
I don't know. There's so many directions to go to. How do you feel about it taking place on the good USA, man?
It's interesting. This is the first FarCry that we're getting in the USA.
How do you feel?
I don't mind. I like it.
Feel good like an American?
Yeah.
I want you to know, after I watched this trailer, I stood down on one knee and I said, America! And I turned into an eagle. I flew away. It was awesome. It was great.
Yeah, it wasn't. How was the sky?
None of that happened. I really wish it did, though. It was great.
I'm slightly hurt that you just lied.
I know. I'm sorry to other listeners, too, that thought I had the ability to turn into an eagle. I want you to know I really tried, though. Really hard. I did. Just couldn't turn into an eagle.
I bet if you take enough drugs, you could. So, are you sold on this, or you think you're going to wait to see what?
No,
Red Dead's
I'm
doing?
sold. I'm be honest. The trailer was enough to get me, and like I said, I'm not too particular. If I think a story of a game looks sufficient enough that I can be drawn into it, I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
Remember, Titanfall 2 sold me on that line in the trailer where he hands him the helmet, and I'm like, I need to know if he was the right person for the job. So, like, I'm a simple man like that. And you know me, I love my story-based games, and this looks like a really different story in a different direction. People are always asking for something new, something different. This is something new and something different.
I agree.
So,
now, how do you feel about the customization of a character for a first-person game? I always find that weird.
It is weird, but maybe the way the character looks will mess with your stats or something.
Do you think for the first time I'll be able to see myself in a mirror in a game?
Oh, that would be
Isn't
so
that
cool.
like kind of annoying? When
It
you look
is
in mirrors
really
and
weird.
you can't see yourself because they like smudge the mirror so that you can.
Never see yourself. Hopefully that'd be really neat. I think the only game you were ever able to see yourself in was like Duke Nukem, Total Meltdown, and even that it wasn't like no matter what gun you had, you had the same flamethrower on in the reflection. That was not a great game.
No, not at all.
So you picking up Far Cry releases?
Yeah, I love the Far Cry series, and it's while I think 3 was way better than 4, I'm hoping that this is another step in the right direction. And I like that Ubisoft, like we've already said, is willing to take those risks, and I like that they're a company that's what they do. Like look at games like Child of Light, which if you look at Child of Light, you wouldn't think a company would make that because commercially it probably wouldn't be very successful. But I like that Ubisoft is just willing to take those chances and risks to whether or not someone likes it, they're just kind of like, you know what, we like that idea, so let's do it for
It is neat, and like I said, it's nice that they're adding things in. Like you mentioned, fishing is such a simple thing, but how many people you think are going to love that?
I mean, I fished in Final Fantasy 15 for hours.
Yeah.
So
it's really not that bad. I actually like that. You know what I mean? You're a man of your patience. Good for you.
Oh, thanks.
Good for you.
Thanks.
I know that's the first thing I'm going to do. Run out and pick up Far Cry and then fish.
Good idea.
You're an idea.
I try to be. So we got our first look at, I guess, screenshot, you could say.
You look like the cover.
I guess we could go with that cover art of the Mario Raving Rabbids
Yes.
RPG.
Now you're disappointed by this.
Yeah, I don't like how it looks at all.
Why?
It looks too childish, in my opinion. I don't. And here's the thing: Paper Mario, in my opinion, when it first came out, was a pretty tough RPG. It was really good on the N64 and GameCube, and I thought it was challenging, but kids could still play it as well. Like the content that was in the game wasn't so bad for kids that obviously you don't want your kid to play this.
I think it's a really solid RPG.
But it's a really good RPG. Whereas I feel like this just looks like it's going to lean more towards kids. I don't like the idea of the Mega Blaster looking things that they're all wearing. I would much rather them have like fantasy type weapons, like swords or shields, or even like Mario type stuff, like a plunger or a wrench,
a piranha plant,
like
just a Goomba shoe.
Yeah, things like that I wouldn't really mind. But I just looked at that and I was like, oh, this kind of looks boring. And I don't like that the rabbits are dressed like Mario characters. It just kind of...
I want to see where they're going story mode or story options for it, and the picture didn't break me. It's still just a shot. I need to see gameplay before anything. Once I see gameplay, then I'll make determination.
Do you think Bowser's gonna have a rabbit dressed like him?
That'd be weird.
That's evil.
The evil rabbit Bowser. I don't know.
He's black.
You think?
Black rabbit.
You think Bowser's gonna be the villain of the game?
I guarantee Bowser's gonna be a villain.
I don't know. Maybe you'll team up with again. Ooh.
I hope so. If I get Bowser in my party, I'd probably play it.
Yeah.
But I don't really care about anything else.
I feel like it's coming out on the Switch. I'll pick it up.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not something I'm proud of, but I picked up a lot of stuff for the Switch. Like, you gotta look terrible for me to not pick you up. Like, I think no.
I mean, you're even looking into ARMS now.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited about it. ARMS is the fighting game.
Yeah?
I'm really excited.
Did you play the demo? Or beta?
No, I can't get on it for some reason.
I haven't tried. So, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm still really excited for it, and I like the little snippets of information they're given, so I'm really excited for it. The Switch, I'm not going to say is disappointing, because I'm actually having fun with it still, and what I played on it I'm having fun with, but, you know what I mean? As it is, yeah, I am desperate for games on it, so I'm going to take ARMS.
Okay.
As it is.
Speaking of desperation, we got to look at Monster Hunter XX was announced.
Putting porn in Monster Hunters. This is terrible.
One more X and we're there. Full nudity. We're double X right now, but one more. Watch out.
You're taking it over with, yeah.
I'm going to take that armor right off.
So,
go ahead.
No.
You first.
What do you think of the Monster Hunter series in first place?
I like it. I think it's a little too grindy for my taste at times, but I definitely think it's one of those games that if I had friends to play with, I would enjoy more. Like, if I came home and you were like, hey, you want to try to knock out a mission of hunting down a monster, I'd probably be like, yeah, sure, let's get on our Switches and do that online or something. I'd be down for that. But I feel like as a game that I played by myself, I could see myself getting bored. Oh.
I can see that. There is a lot of... to me, it's a solid game. Controls are good, graphics are good, voice acting's great. There's a lot of tedious text in it, like the Monster Hunter 3, the egg carrying.
Yeah. And you can't run with it either.
Like, what developer was like, this is a good idea? This is a good... Same person that's probably always pitching escort missions in games. Nobody likes them. Stop putting them in. But I like the series, but I feel like I wasn't excited when I heard about this. And I'm trying to figure out why. And that's why I asked you, what do you feel about the franchise?
So I like the series. Here's my problem with it. I've always associated with handhelds. Which, in my opinion, then I think in my head, okay, budget game. So it's going to be, like, in my head, $40. My big problem with this one is, too, that it's going to be a port of the 3DS one that's already out. So it's kind of like, alright, I'm not getting a beautiful Monster Hunter game because it's a port. So I'm getting a slightly... better rendered Monster Hunter game than the 3DS version. And I'm going to be even more upset if when it comes out, it's $60.
Yeah, I'd see that happening. I forgot to mention this. I picked up Street Fighter.
Okay.
For the Switch. Although, pretty game, fun, $40 for that was unbelievable in price tag.
I feel like that should have been something like $20.
I agree with you. That's my issue. And I feel like Nintendo just knows people buy things out of desperation for it. Or maybe I'm thinking too much into it. Maybe they're just like every corporation trying to make money. But I feel like that was just an unnecessary price tag for that game.
Well, that's kind of how I feel about... I only own 2 games on my Switch. And one I kind of feel like a sucker for buying again, which is Mario Kart. But my problem is I paid $60 for Mario Kart. And it's like, yeah, while I like Mario Kart, it's like I kind of feel like a sucker. Because it's like I already owned this. I should have been $40, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And the same with Lego City Undercover. Why is that $60 again?
You watch your mouth.
No,
I agree with you. It is, and it's not like they're adding anything to these games. That's what annoys me.
They add small things, but I don't think it's enough to be $60.
Lego City, what did they add?
Lego City added co-op, split screen.
Wow.
I know.
That's, you know what? Turn it off. We're good. We're fine. That's enough for me. That's it. No, it's not.
Simple man.
So, and I was just super disappointed, and I agree with you. If there's a huge price tag to this, I'm gonna be so pissed when I buy it because I'm gonna buy it anyway.
Yeah, and that's my problem too, because like I'm desperate for my Switch to have games as well, and right now the only games I really kind of want that are coming out are Mario Odyssey. I want Monster Hunter XX as long as I, know some people that are possibly getting it as well. And
You
then
know me, buddy.
nice. And then I want Xenoblade and Splatoon.
I'm excited for Xenoblade to buy it.
But that's it.
Well, we still got some time, and there's some rumors of still stuff coming out. I read an article the other day where this rumor about the Dark Souls trilogy
I did hear about
pouring
that.
over to it. So maybe Nintendo is waiting up, because you got to remember too. We've discussed this before. There's a lot of systems that have a rough lineup when they first drop, and eventually get their bearings later.
Yes, I agree with you. My problem is, though, Nintendo wasn't really releasing anything on the Wii U either. So it's almost like, well, what was your resources going to? Because there's nothing coming out really for the Switch either. So,
well,
and maybe they're trying to gap things out so that they don't cannibalize their own games.
good word use.
No, thanks. You don't want to release a Mario and Zelda at the same time because obviously it's going to steal sales one from the other. At the same time, though, I at least would like to know of the future things that are coming. And while E3 is right around the corner, maybe that's where we'll hear about it. It gets you nervous too, as someone who just bought a Switch. What if you go through E3 and everything you hear about stuff you
Already knew about.
yeah.
Well, like I said, I'm going to give the system. I'm trying to figure out what system came out with a terrible lineup and ended up being one of my favorites. PS3 comes to mind. Xbox One started off with an awful lineup.
Which one of your favorites?
No, it's not a good point. PS3 though didn't have a great lineup. When it
PS3
started.
did not. I agree with that, and it definitely turned itself around. Though.
Yes,
I agree.
it did the hokey pokey.
That's what it's all about. But yeah, I could agree that systems obviously do have a chance of coming back. I think the fear is though that a lot of people were already burned by Nintendo with the Wii U.
Yeah.
So it's hard to have faith in a system and be like, oh, you know what, they're definitely going to come out with good stuff because. Looking in the past, like, I don't know, because some of the stuff we did get on the Wii U was even hit or miss. Mario Tennis wasn't as good as the previous Mario Tennis games.
Yeah, well,
Mario Party, that may have been the worst Mario Party.
that was
ever
probably
released.
the worst Mario Party. The Kirby game that came out on it was a slap in the face. But there was some hidden gems in there. Mario 3D World I really enjoyed.
I agree. Same with Bayonetta 2. Which
Bayonetta 2
was
was so good.
I think the Pikmin series has always been a really good series.
You're a Pikmin.
I love Pikmin.
So I'm hoping if I get announced Mario, they announce, and there's big rumors are that we're getting another Metroid Prime announced. If that gets announced and I get an Animal Crossing, I'm good. I feel like I've justified my system spending.
I think if they announce those two things as well, I'd be fine. At least even an Animal Crossing, because I think Animal Crossing is just one of those games that you can just dump hours upon
I
hours
miss
into.
playing that. I remember playing the first one and just digging for fossils for so long.
Are you going to come visit my village?
Yeah, of course,
You
man.
going to live in my village?
No.
Why? We'll
Uh,
have paved streets. You
don't-
won't.
don't like living with your kind.
What's my kind?
You people. Okay, let's just put it that way.
That's kind of rude.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's
Is it because we have paved streets and you have dirt roads?
that's what I'm a simple kind of man. Okay, I like to go to the market, pick some eggs up, get them bread, and call it a night.
You like
All
to
right?
have your photos mailed to you.
That's
Not-
that's exactly the world I live in. All right. Tom Nook tried to add another floor to my house. I slapped him around. Okay, this is what I do in my town. All right.
Okay. So, was there anything else you wanted to touch on? Anything big?
Nothing big that I can think of. Like I said, I wanted to get into Street Fighter a little bit. Oh, I do have a story to share. I'm going to take you guys back to the release of Street Fighter 4. Remember that thing came out?
Mhm.
This was
Xbox 360?
yeah, a long time
PS3?
ago. I picked it up and I went over to our mutual friend Brian's house
Uh-huh.
and I was talking mad smack because I don't know if you know this. I talk smack before I play,
I know.
and he annihilated me. Like made me feel really bad about myself, and like for years it just hung over my head and I couldn't get over it. So I went over his house yesterday for Memorial Day. We had a big barbecue. I pulled out Street Fighter 2, and I didn't talk smack this time. I was real quiet, and I demolished him, and it felt great. He tried to blame it on the alcohol. He tried to blame it on being tired. And I didn't say a word. I just smiled and said, you know what? Maybe I didn't waste $40 because I got my pride back. So I feel real good about that.
Took some time, but you got it back.
I did. It did. It cost me $40. It's all my pride is worth, apparently, $40.
Huh.
So, besides that, no, there's not much I want to talk about. The Justice League news is very interesting. You know, I'm like super excited about that.
Did you see the artist who he did he did an idea of what Batman should look like in the Arrow universe?
No,
It actually looks really cool.
I really want to check that out now.
Yeah, you should check it out. It looks pretty neat. Because apparently they're saying that the Robin that's in that universe. I don't watch any of those shows anymore, so you probably know better than I would. They're saying that the Robin that's in that universe might end up being the Batman. But I don't know if that's I don't know how true that is or whatnot.
That's interesting. Talking about Dale, I do want to mention I started watching Riverdale.
Okay.
It's really good. I recommend it.
What's Riverdale?
Wow. Okay. Have you ever heard of Archie Comics?
Yes, way back in the day.
Yeah, well,
It's with those teenagers.
They're still relevant.
The one that wears the hat.
Okay, I get it. I'm old. Okay, all right.
I'm just saying.
His name is Jughead, and he
weren't-
wears a crown.
They
okay?
weren't in color, were they?
Jughead. Archie Comics still exists to this day.
Yeah, but when they started, they weren't in color, right?
They were not in color. You're correct. You're a chick. Do you like Sabrina the Teenage Witch? She was a spin-off of Archie, okay? So give them a little credit. Anyway, Riverdale.
So Archie and a witch are in the same universe?
Yes. Right now in the Archie comics, I kid you not, he just fought Jason Voorhees, and last comic had a nightmare about Freddy. The Archie comics go everywhere. He's fought in the Universal movie monsters. He's teamed up with Scooby-Doo. He's fought with the Ghostbusters. Batman showed up. Archie comics do everything.
Huh.
I like Archie comics. So back them off me right now.
In black and white.
They're not black and white anymore. Either way,
Had they crossed with Bubble Boy?
no, they haven't. But I heard a rumor that they are crossing with Mighty Number 9.
Oh god, I hate you.
Anyway, Riverdale is a live-action drama version of that. It's a little more adult-oriented than Archie comics, but it has all the characters, and I really, really like it. I recommend it to anybody. The whole first season's up on Netflix right now, so definitely give it a watch to anybody listening. Just something real simple they did. You know, it would be ridiculous for Jughead to be wearing a crown, so he has a beanie that he has flipped up, and it looks like a crown. I was like, that's such a genius idea. So,
That's
really good. And it's not in black and white.
No?
No, it's in color.
You sure?
Yeah, positive. I'm very positive.
I hope so.
I can't believe you made fun of me for liking Archie. That's insane.
Are all the people in that show black or white?
No.
So there's some Spanish.
Yeah.
There's some different shades in
There are
there.
different shades in there.
Okay.
There is. I think Veronica, matter of fact, is Spanish in the TV series.
Asians?
I don't know if I've seen an Asian.
Wow, they're racist.
Right away, that's what we want to attack. Okay, fair enough. Other story I want to share, I by mistake bought every Fast and Furious this weekend.
How? Okay. Elaborate on how you accidentally. Aren't there 8 of them?
There's 8. I didn't get number 8 because that's still in theaters.
Okay.
So I got 1 through 7.
And how did you accident?
It feels accidental. So we're in Philadelphia. I don't know if you remember this. I had to go to Atlantic City all last week for work.
Yeah.
Which was awful, by the way. Seen a rat bigger than one of your cats, and it nodded at me and kept walking. So before I left Atlantic City, I wanted to stop by and pick something up for my kids because my mom, when I was a kid, always brought me stuff when she went on business trips. So I wanted to be a good dad, but I wanted to be cheap. So I saw Five Below out there. I was like, well, that's where I'm going to stop. So I picked them up a couple toys from Five Below. If anybody doesn't know what Five Below is, it's the greatest store in the world. Everything's $5 or under. And they had Fast and Furious 1 and 2 there for $5.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to grab that. You know what I mean? I like these movies. That's a deal. So later on that weekend, me and my wife see Five Below in Philadelphia while we're shopping and South Street. And I almost beat up a guy, but that's a different story. We walk in, they have 3 and 4 for $5 at Five Below.
Was there a 3 or was 3 Tokyo Drift?
Tokyo Drift was 3.
Okay.
Not considered 3. So Tokyo Drift and Part 4.
Okay.
So I picked them up. So by this point, I'm like, wow, I got the first 4 Fast and Furious. So we stop at this little video game mom and pop shop that they had on South Street in Philly. And they had 5, 6, and 7 there. 5 was $1, 6 was $2, and 7 was $3. And I picked them up. So in one weekend, in a small amount of time, in different stores, I somehow located 1 through 7 in Fast and Furious. And now we own them all.
Are you proud of yourself?
I am. Like, Somebody will come up and look at them like I got those by accident. That wasn't on purpose. Like, what's the chance? If I had gone in any other order, I wouldn't have done it. If I had gone into Five Below in Philly and not the one in Atlantic City, and be like, I'm not going to get 3 and 4. I want 1 and 2. So it was somehow perfectly lined up that every store I visited in every order had the exact ones I needed.
How convenient.
It was really convenient.
For you and the Fast and Furious.
Apparently, somebody really wanted me to watch Vin Diesel. So,
did you rewatch them all?
I haven't watched them yet. I haven't even opened some of them. They're all sitting there. I have a bunch of movies I realized the other day I have not opened.
Yeah, I have that same problem. Don't feel bad.
I got The Gray sitting over there. I haven't opened it. We were just talking on the podcast how much I loved Edge of Tomorrow. It's still sitting on my movies, not open.
I don't think mine's open either.
Yeah.
To be completely honest.
That was one we had Redboxed, and I really liked it, so I went out and bought it.
I do that a lot too, where I'll rent a movie because I'm like, I heard this was okay, and then I'm like, whoa, this is like really good. What's going on? This is see that kid right there walking on my lawn.
Yeah, you want to fight?
He's the one. So I saw him one day walking, and I guess he lives next door, but I didn't know he lived next door. And he was picking flowers out of the bush, and he kept walking. And I was like, oh, little asshole. I was like, if I ever see him doing that to my yard, I'm gonna punch him in the throat. So
this is what happens. You get a house and you turn to that old man. That's
I keep seeing this kid walk on my lawn.
That's what pisses you off.
I keep thinking he's gonna pull something out of the grass or something.
It happens. I almost hit an old woman today. So, neighbor lives across the street from me, like 90. She's, you know what I mean? And I go out to the car to come here to do the podcast, and from like out of nowhere, she's, how are you? And just like appeared behind me. So like it scared me, and I instantly like clenched up. A fist so close to her, and she's still smiling. Your kids are getting big. I'm like, you scared the piss out of me. Wow. So
it's so funny that old people just seem to materialize.
And out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. So anything you're gonna be playing this week?
Probably some more Dragon Age. I've been playing a lot of that. Been playing Shadow Warrior 2.
Ooh, how was that?
I actually really enjoy it. I think that's a game right up your alley.
Right.
It's really funny. It's a lot of fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously. While you're here, we can maybe play a little.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can play. I'll watch.
That is weird. Whatever.
Why? I like watching people play games.
I know you told me that before. It's an awesome thing. Wish my wife would catch that. Oh, wait, she listened to these. Never mind.
She's not going to watch you.
No, she doesn't. She never does. She doesn't like games. She does do this ability. Walks in front of the TV all the time when I'm playing. And then it's never like one trip. It's always, I forgot something, and back and forth. You know what I mean? But you never want to be that guy.
Isn't that the worst?
It is. It's awful. Especially during cutscenes, because I'm like so particular about my cutscenes.
Same.
And it drives me insane. Or when she's trying to talk to me when there's a cutscene, and I don't want to be that guy to be like...
It's like she waited.
Like, all this time, I was doing mindless gunplay. She just shows up out of nowhere. Hey, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, please, cutscene. So, on a side note, when playing the Master Chief Collection on Halo, I forgot what studio made that, but I hope you're listening. You put 1 and 2 in HD, make them look amazing, and then you just port the 360 version of 3 in there and act like I'm not going to notice? What did you just give up? You're like, all right, whew, we updated 1 and 2. All right, let's get to 3. No, we're good.
They did that so they can resell you 3 HD later.
Oh, it is terrible. It looks worse than the 360 version somehow.
I think because now you got used to good-looking graphics.
It's that, and then on top of that, I got a 4K TV, and it's not rendering well at all on the TV. It's like everything looks round. You know what I mean? Master Chief looks like a bubble. It's terrible. Like I can't.
Bubble Boy.
Bubble Boy. Exactly. I'm done.
It's actually like the perfect analogy for that because in 3 you can put the Paladin bubble down.
Oh, that is true. What's your favorite Halo out of the
2?
Really?
2's always been my favorite. Even though I don't like the parts with Arbiter, I just think 2 has the better multiplayer, and it's just... I feel like 2's the peak of that series. It also is very cinematic. I thought
a lot of cutscenes.
I thought 1 was really good, but 2 just makes you really feel like you're the Chief.
Yeah, I can see that.
And it does take you out of it a lot, unfortunately, by you playing as Arbiter.
Yeah.
But after playing 5, I really appreciated the Arbiter. Like, I like the Arbiter a lot more.
Also, with that collection, don't know why they didn't advertise it. It comes with ODST.
It originally didn't.
Ah.
They added ODST because when the collection came out, it wouldn't work. It like wasn't working for people. So and it didn't work for literally like 3 to 4 months. So as an apology, they gave out ODST as well.
The collection wasn't working?
Yeah, the multiplayer. You can only play single player. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So a lot of people were upset because a lot of people bought it for Halo 2 multiplayer, and you couldn't do it. So as an apology, they gave everyone ODST.
That's really neat. So I was wondering why they wouldn't advertise that, because that's technically 5 games, because ODST.
Yeah. How do you like ODST?
I'd never played it.
Really?
I never played Reach, ODST, or Wars.
I think ODST is okay. It's not as fun because one of the things I really enjoy about Halo is being a Spartan, and you're not. You're like a paratrooper.
Yeah, I heard. But he's played by that guy from Firefly. Why can't I remember? Nathan Phillips. Villain, whatever his name is. So that's cool.
Okay.
All right.
Have you been watching My Hero Academia?
No.
Why?
I've been busy.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Season 2 is amazing.
Never watched Riverdale.
Yeah, I haven't really been watching much of anything else. We got La La Land.